And so, I'll pick up where I left off. 1 second. The future looks bleak. No beds in the shelter. No way to get in touch with my father. The weather gets colder and more dangerous with each passing hour. I see only despair and suffering. I posted my letters, and now, sitting in an uncomfortable chair in the Humboldt Public Library, I wish I had never been born. I am very proud. I'm told as I cry not to worry, that I'll find somewhere to land, and that they're all watching over me. I tell him I'll never give up my desire to play the role, and he says he knows, that my devotion means so much to him. We're all upset. Everything should have gone any other way. I belong nowhere. The eternity of the blank page is my only sanctuary, nowhere else. Apologies, tears, suicide, hope, insight, despair, death. What is tomorrow but now? What is now but yesterday's tomorrow, 1 year removed? All of my thoughts feel hollow. My emotions feel weighted, feral, disjointed. I am adrift, all but evaporated, one foot in the grave, the other in heaven, bifurcating me into oblivion. Seeing it all, Alistair pleading for me to believe him, that it isn't bullshit. It all seems trite. The why? They must be exhausted as well. Libraries seem prisons to me now. My isolation so sublime, I've enslaved myself to books. Performance, and for what? To write? Why does it seem so dull, so miserable? I've been arguing with my sister for some time. I'm trying to land somewhere. She sees me as ill. She is very judgmental, and often holier than thou, but I love her. I wish I was anything other than what I am, an interstellar alien wizard that belongs nowhere. To paraphrase Chekhov, if she were a simpler woman, I should be a happier man. Brittany says she is in therapy with Olive, her special needs youngest daughter, but she isn't ignoring me. She wants to help, and knows I am in dire straits. She has been a mother her entire life. It breeds, if I'm completely honest, an arrogance or self-centeredness, not out of pathology, out of necessity. Any mother, especially one of many, becomes by default the center of attention in all the children's lives. A maestro of a sort. It isn't a huge leap in logic to connect these dots. The woman often never sees it. Just had a nice encounter with an older retarded gentleman named Michael. He invited me to church. When he asked me where I went, and I said, well, nowhere. But I had the Lord in my heart. He recommended his place of worship, Sugar Creek, and recited the times of the service. White, glasses, bald and gray beard, domineering beer gut, staunch, stocky frame, eyes that hold no secrets. His blissful ignorance is intoxicating, if sad. 12:27. 9 minutes to perfection. The weather is nice outside, I can tell. Though I loathe the open sky for now. I am too much in the sun. A black man, tall, stocky, bearded, just opened the door and entered wearing redneck badass Macho Man Randy Savage sunglasses. He looks ridiculously awesome. Everything drags. I've exhausted myself. All I see is evil. When I look in and consider it all, I know there's much to say. But what it is, as perfection approaches, eludes me. Any second now the minute will change, and the necessity of urgency will be more manifest than now. 12:36. I didn't create it. Or perhaps I'm the only one to consider its existence, but it is now, the perfect minute, sealed hermetically in numeric order. Perfection. My sister says she'll pick me up on Wednesday, and I'll be in the shelter in Florence. What a fucking mess. They, Alistair, tell me I am about to land, and that I have to use this condition as motivation. I had a vision yesterday, last night, of a wand giving birth. The interpretations are myriad, manifold. The most obvious answer is that she was never pregnant at all. It is a fucked up mind game. Easy. I should eat, get some sun. I'll walk. Tears as the simple black man quips about time when you have children. And blessed me with God. I think I'm due for a miracle or a lightning bolt if God blesses me much more. Back in the library, it is 2 o'clock. I walked to the nearest store that takes food stamps, spent too much on pure junk food, and shoveled it into my gullet while listening to Hamlet outside. The walk gave me the feeling that all are upset. I suspect Willow doesn't like me discussing her with people, though that never stopped her from pointing to her naked ape and saying to her Philistine friends, "Look, see how peculiar." Alistair knows I didn't want to see her. I was adamant. No audience without paying the piper, without paying Caesar his due. And he rebuked me, wanted me to forgive her. And so I did. I said, "Okay, Alistair, we'll do it your way." I hear apologies. I hear she isn't evil. The pleading. It feels pathological now. To trust so completely, to be degraded and left in the wilderness of Middle America. I understand, she tells me. Your line better. You have no sanctuary. You mean the sanctuary of the soul? She's raging, either at herself or as a performance piece for me. She wrecked my innocent heart into 1,000 pieces. All I see is detritus. She says I drown her in love. I want everyone to have what they want. I never assume I am what will make anyone happy. Least of all, a woman who has the world at her fingertips. But she said to the contrary, and out of that same trust, I offered her father when I refused to see her. I said, "Okay, if that's what you want, I'll love you more than anyone else can." As I am here, and she is there, and she never spoke to me in person a single time and corrupted her body to spite me, allegedly, in sincere consideration, it is obvious and evident that what I offered meant nothing. That I am a peculiar oddity, and like her father refusing to explain certain aspects of his film, once she siphoned all the raw data out of my servers, spiritual, emotional, psychological, I deflated. The nitrous oxide only gets you high when the balloon is full. Yet is she always on my mind? Is our connection anything less than sublime? Substantial? A fucking dumpster fire? Or is it just me buried in bullshit? Total insanity. All I can say is that it appears she doesn't understand love. She understands these lofty magnetic forces, but has cheated the ferryman. This type of nepotism is by far the worst. To feel entitled to steal and peruse as you see fit the treasures and malignancies plaguing a person's heart, soul, and mind is a dangerous game. Every cell in her body has consumed all of her psychic malevolence, and only God knows what will transpire. That she has resources, limitless, gives her that extra cushionage excuse to continue in her depravity. I know it cuts right through her when I write or scream at her. She is a petulant child with a whore's personality, a flat, tacky, one-dimensional dumb bitch who has no choice but to siphon good from anyone else by these base occult tactics from time immemorial. Because she, of herself, of her own free will and identity, has nothing of value to offer the world, save this peculiar document wherein I embed her evil for the world to see. And true, this book may be good, great even. She earned her place by being the opposite. Another county library. I'm the only bum in this one. The stacks, I'm sure, reflect the tastes of the readers who frequent this establishment. Formulaic pulp, bad lighting, tacky furniture, thick southern drawls, though a thought occurs. You can gauge a lot about a town based on how the people who live there behave. Here I see much kindness, little selfishness, love, an overabundance, if rooted in ignorance, which is true in any of these podunk towns between Nashville and Memphis. Conversely, what do you reckon the average disposition is for the populace between Manhattan and Philadelphia, or Los Angeles to Santa Barbara? Kind, simple, loving, God-fearing, or pure fucking snark, cynicism? She's proven it 1,000 times over. She's never been sincere a single day in her life. It is pitiful in the worst way. I suspect in her heart, in that last grain of sand that represents truth, beauty, and goodness, she is as lonely as I am. All of her relationships are forged through sarcasm and irony. No rest, no camaraderie, pure pretension. What a sad, miserable existence. I know I must be the only one to see the truth of what she is. I don't think she adjusted the procedure, which I could guess was her misstep. Though she had no means. She only knew what was on the page, which is quite a lot, but I would guess, as far as everyone else is concerned, however many victims, hundreds, I would guess, thousands even, that most people are incredibly dull and offer little in those most secret parts of fortune. Their proximity blinded them, or they never really saw her. The most ordinary people care little for the extraordinary. And though actors and show business types are professional chest puffers, we all know how vapid a lot of them are. Obviously, her father is, in fact, extraordinary. The proof is all there on the celluloid. Though obvious, too, he has his demons, his predilections towards sorcery, like father, like daughter. His wife, her father, they, Alistair and Annabella, now have 2 small children and are doing it all over again. To what end? Does a similar fate await both of them, doomed for a certain term to be listless like Big Sister, aimlessly roaming the mortal coil, offering nothing beyond exaltation? How could he not want her to find herself? How could a father let a child languish in such a way? I'm not a monster, or a cynic monk. I know Alistair was as poor as me for a long time, too. And I can understand wanting your progeny to be comfortable. But comfort and sloth are 2 different things. She is a gluttonous vampire devoid of purpose. If I was asked to estimate, I would say, as of now, a wasted life. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. I know I could say the same with me. Something about nihilistic balance, perhaps. 91 pages written. 93, really. But 2 of the pages were torn out and mailed as letters this morning. It is a Herculean labor. A rhapsodic fervor which is poured out of me over this week. In truth, it is far more. I write every day, and have my entire year's writing in this bag. Maybe 7 of these books, 8, 9, I once sure. Only one of them is blank. This one has 7 pages remaining. Others also have many pages torn out as letters to various heroes of mine. But all of the rest, every one, there exists not a single available line on any of them. 2 more nights, tonight and tomorrow night, in the elements. Lamentations.